A couple weeks ago, I made a video on Infiniti and how they're rebranding their image, hoping that their dealerships adopt this new sort of design. And they also came out with a new logo. Now, that new logo, I can now confirm, is the logo that we will see on the new QX80, their large body-on-frame, truck-based monster SUV, one of my favorite vehicles for sale on the market. Of course, it would be my favorite Infiniti as well. And today I'm going to be breaking you some news on the Infiniti QX80 as well as its brethren across the world known as the Patrol and the Armada. Let's get into it. My source is anonymous on this, and so take it with a grain of salt. I'm not going to say who it's coming from, where it's coming from. It might not be true, but the amount of information I have is pretty telling. So we should have one more model year of the current body-on-frame Armada, Patrol, and QX80. And for the QX80, for the 2024 model year, it'll be a shortened production year run, and that should end by the end of this year for them producing the V8 model. They're going to make some changes for this current model year in the sensory package, maybe some black accents, and they're also supposed to be getting rid of the rear entertainment for the 2024 model year. We might get an official press release from Infiniti on this, and if we do, I'll share it to you guys here on the channel. But the big changes are coming for the next generation, which is actually happening soon. I'm hearing production will start early 2024 as a 2025 model year. And here's the biggest news on the QX80 redesign, and it will affect the Patrol as well as the Armada. And it is the removal of the V8 engine as well as the removal of the 7-speed automatic. That is pretty good in my opinion. But what we didn't know with this new generation is what they were going to replace the V8 with. And a boosted twin-turbo V6 makes a lot of sense because we've seen just about everyone. We've seen Ford do it. Their biggest competitor, Toyota's done it, going from the 5.7 liter V8 down to the 3.4 liter twin turbo V6. Now, Nissan has had in multiple products is the 3 liter twin turbo V6 that we see in the Z, that we see in the Skylines and the Q50s and Q60s. But Nissan wanted to put something bigger in their Patrol. And from what I'm hearing is we're going to have a larger displacement 3.7 liter twin turbo V6 with 450 horsepower and over 500 pound-feet of torque. This will put Toyota's twin-turbo V6 to shame a little bit. Now, Nissan likely won't have a hybrid version of this, and that's where Toyota might have a small advantage, maybe in efficiency. Now, my source couldn't confirm the transmission, but I think it's logical to assume it would be the 9-speed we see in the Titan, the 9-speed we see in, let's say, the Frontier as well. And we also see that 9-speed in the Z. It's a great transmission, very quick shifts and smooth, and I'm really looking forward to that being paired with a 3.7 liter twin turbo V6. Now, I don't have any images of what the new QX80 looks like. There are spy shots out there. I don't have a hold of those right now, but you can just Google 2025 QX80 spy shots. You'll get an idea. It's supposed to look more masculine. The current QX80 and the current Armada, they did have a mid-cycle refresh, which got rid of a lot of those swoopy, curvy, soft features to it. And now it's a pretty handsome SUV, but there are still a little too many rounded features to it, in my opinion. And hopefully they get rid of the massive rear bumper on the QX80 and Armada, make it a little bit more modern with smaller overhangs, especially on the rear there. That's what I would like to see. But I currently like how the Armada and the QX80 look. So if they make it even better, bravo. For the interior, I'm hearing 2 big screens, possibly up to 14 inches big, one behind the steering wheel as the instrument cluster, and the other one will be your infotainment screen in the center. So 2 14-inch screens is quite incredible. I'm looking forward to that, but I actually have no issue, even though the current Armada and QX80 have that outdated analog tachometer behind the steering wheel. I still like it, and their current 12-inch screen is quite functional in my opinion. I like the volume and tuning knobs, so hopefully we stick with the volume and tuning knobs with these large screens. I'd appreciate that. We actually haven't seen a 14-inch screen that I'm aware of in any Nissan or Infiniti product, so the QX80 will be getting some special treatment here. Will the Armada get those? It's hard to say. But there's probably a good chance it will because the technology, actually they're pretty much carbon copies of each other. It's just the Infiniti looks a little bit more upscale, a little bit nicer materials on the outside maybe, but on the inside they're virtually identical, and I would pick the Armada over the QX80, but depends on what kind of deal you can get. The suspension on the QX80 is fantastic. It's smooth, it can pull a lot of weight despite it being fully independent in the rear. Unlike the new Land Cruiser, the new Sequoia, for example, that have a solid rear axle, the QX80 will continue on with a double wishbone front and rear suspension. So it should actually ride a lot better than the upcoming, or should I say than the current Lexus LX and upcoming Lexus GX. So and the Sequoia for that matter as well. Watch my review on the Sequoia. I talked about the ride quality just being not great. Bravo Infiniti, bravo Nissan for continuing on the superior independent rear suspension for everyday usage on the upcoming QX80 Armada and Patrol. And before we get into the sales of the QX80 and the Armada, there's also some more information coming from this source. It looks like their EV sedan has been pushed back until 2026 or 2027. That will be built in Canton, Mississippi. Now, this EV sedan and EV crossover, we heard as early as 2025, but maybe that's for the Nissan lineup. So maybe Nissan gets the nod a year ahead, or all of them could have been pushed back another year or two, which is probably the likely situation here. The Q50 sedan, also known as the Skyline in Japan, is going to have another 1 to 2 year run before they discontinue it. And then after it's discontinued, they're going to have a year or so between the discontinuation of the Q50 and the introduction of the electric Skyline, or what are they going to call it? I would love for Infiniti to call it the Skyline. But what if Nissan called theirs the Maxima, Infiniti called theirs the Skyline? That would be pretty nostalgic. All right, currently the QX80 is up 114% this year. Selling over 6,000 units. We double that. That's selling 12,000 units. So if we look at the QX80, 12,000 units, that's about to where they were back in 2021. So they're getting that production volume back up and hopefully gets back to these volumes that we saw in the late 2010s, I should say, around 20,000 units. Looking at the Armada as well, it's Nissan brother, up 190%, selling 13,000. We double it's at 26,000. They're pacing this year. Here we go, 26,000. It's actually more. They're pacing more than they did in 2021. So that's great to see. Not quite to the volume we saw back in 2017, which I think was around the introduction of this current model generation. With this new model twin turbo V6, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see over 30,000 units again for the Armada. Now, with Infiniti sales falling straight out of the sky from 2017 to 2018, are selling over 150,000 units, and down in 2022 to 46,000 units. We should see a slight rebound here in 2023, but the QX80 and new product can't come soon enough to help this brand get more traction. There's currently nothing in their lineup that is new, fresh, super exciting. I guess the QX60, excellent three-row crossover, but there's a lot of competition there, especially now coming from Lexus. You got Mazda going upscale. And would I pick the QX60 over some of the competition out there? I don't know. Not sure if I would pick it over an MDX. I guess it'd be a coin flip because I like both of them a lot. But honestly, I'd probably get a plug-in hybrid CX90 with efficiency and power and luxury all at the same time over a lot of the traditional luxury three-row crossovers out there. But I'll see you guys down below. Are you excited for the QX80? If you are, as well as the new Armada and Patrol. If you are excited, smash the like button, subscribe, because when I get the information officially from Infiniti and Nissan, it won't be long, right? We should get a reveal this fall if production will start early 2024 as a 2025 model year. Can't wait. I'm excited for the large displacement of the engine, the amount of power and torque we're going to see. Yes, am I a little sad about the smoothness of the V8 going away? Of course. But that's the way of the world. And they seem to be actually one-upping Toyota here with a larger twin-turbo V6 with more power. So that's pretty cool and worth getting excited for. But I'm getting it there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and peace.